Okay, so there's one more question that we got to talk about because they're going to be in Atlanta, right? Which is like Atlanta is to African Americans, United States, as Miami is to Latinos, right? Like this is like the capital of Black America is Atlanta. And they're going to be at Tyler Perry Studios. Other than Joe Biden, who's riding pretty high with Black voters, the rest of these candidates are all languishing pretty much. I mean, Bernie Sanders is in the high teens, Elizabeth Warren's in the high to mid-teens, the low to mid-teens. Pete Buttigieg is barely even on the map when it comes to African American voters. So do you think there's going to be any play for Black voters during this debate tonight?
Yeah, I think there has to be. Pete Buttigieg in particular is in a really desperate spot when it comes to Black voters. There was a Quinnipiac poll out a few days ago that showed him in South Carolina. He was at, pretty much registering at 0% among Black voters. So he's going to have to turn that around if he ever wants to win this nomination. And I think being in Atlanta, being on the debate stage in front of a national audience, he has the opportunity to do that. Elizabeth Warren kind of finds herself in a similar place. She does better than Pete Buttigieg among Black voters, but still not at the level that Biden or even Bernie Sanders are really coming in at.
Well, you know what's interesting? Elizabeth Warren does have a play with African American women. They're playing very hard there. We'll see if they're able to do it. Pete Buttigieg made a big foul this week when he put out that, or a couple weeks ago, when he put out that Douglas plan that had some people included on it that maybe were not really supportive of it. It had some images from Africa, not from people in the United States. It had a lot of mistakes that people are worried about. And then Bernie Sanders is really playing hard with younger African Americans, but older African Americans just don't seem to be feeling the burn.
No, they really don't. And I think that's a part of this that's often overlooked. Older Black voters, I'm talking voters in their 50s and their 60s, especially in the South, what I'm talking about, tend to be more religious, tend to be more socially conservative in a lot of ways. They are reliable Democratic voters, but that progressive wing of the party doesn't appeal to them in the same way.
And they're working class voters. And a lot of people talk about the working class and trying to build a working class movement. Joe Biden, in a way, does have a working class coalition that is trying to help him get elected. We'll see if they stick. If he can't win in Iowa and New Hampshire, will they stick around in South Carolina? So.
That's hard to say. South Carolina is the Democratic electorate there is heavily working class, heavily African American, and I think Joe Biden, that is probably his best bet if he doesn't have a first or second place finish in Iowa and New Hampshire.
Absolutely. All right, Max. Thanks a lot for joining us. Good to have you up here.
Yeah, thank you, Jamal.
All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Hill TV on YouTube. Be sure to click subscribe and hit the bell so you know when we post new videos. And head to thehill.com for all the latest political news.